Hello, welcome back. Unemployed plant guy here. It is pretty hot for the end of August. It's like 26, 27 degrees. Today I'm going to be working on some flowering and fruiting trees. So we've got a lemon tree in front of me here, we've got an olive tree, this is a Japanese wisteria, and this is a leopard tree, which I've actually not really seen anyone trying to use as bonsai. That could be for good reason, but I mean it does have some quite nice leafing. I'm a bit nervous to work on the lemon tree, just because the bees are really loving it at the moment and there's a lot of thorns on it. But I think that's where I'm going to start. It's been in that pot for 3-4 years now. I've had it for about 5 or 6 years as well, pretty much just letting it grow. It does have a lime on it. I'll probably get rid of that, but everything here will probably get a little bit of, well, this will get a drastic shape, this will get a new shape. This needs to be brought back into order because it's wispy and dangly and limbs everywhere. And this I grew from a seed. It's been sitting in this pot for a couple of years now, so I've never really worked on the roots or anything, but I have been trimming it as it grows with the intent of making a bonsai. So the top half is a little bit more refined than the bottom, so we'll be looking at that just before spring completely kicks in. So I'll bring you in and we'll start working on this lime tree. Lemon tree. It's not a lime tree, it's a lemon tree. That's a lemon. Alright, new angle today. Hopefully this lighting's a bit better. I'm unsure how the lighting looked from yesterday. First we'll just start on getting this out of the pot. Just let me move my coffee out the way. This I bought from just a local garden store probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's been sitting in this pot for maybe 3 of those years now. So I don't really know what's happening down underneath, but certainly up top is a bit of a straggling mess. So we'll get to working on that in time. Firstly though, I just want to kind of see if I can lift this out. Oh yeah, there we go. So it's got a very, very healthy root ball, which is good. So I can probably, well, hopefully, be quite drastic with this prune. I'm just going to grab the wheelbarrow so I can throw some rubbish away. So first thing, I'm just, as always, this is going to get dirt all through it, this coffee, so just let me do something with this. Put it in the shade. So first thing, as always, just tease out the roots, see what we're working with. I might actually try and get this into a bonsai pot today, we'll see. I do have one in mind. It's not really perfect for it, but it's good enough. Okay. Well, that's a strong root system over here. That's a really big thick one there, just in there. Just kind of teasing it. I'm just trying to get down to see the trunk line, which is probably the main thing I'm after right now. I'm not really being too gentle around the trunk line, but that actually does have a decent, well, this is probably going to be the least amount of work I'll have to do on a tree to get it into a bonsai pot, I think. Look at that. It's a really, really healthy root ball. The dirt just keeps coming. So, I think initially what I might do is just remove pretty much all of this section here, from here down. Okay, we're back. I got some scissors from the shed of mystery down the back. I'm just going to kind of sort out some rubbish here first. Okay, so probably just start by taking off the bottom flattening it out, getting a bit of a base. Anything straggly. Alright, now we'll just go so that's the flat. There's nothing too dominant in here, which I'm liking. Everything's quite fine. And even on the top, there's only really one root that is a bit more, I guess, stronger than the others, but I'll get rid of it. The only thing is if I get rid of it, there won't be any roots over here. So when I put it flat on the ground, it actually has a really nice radial pattern already. I don't actually think I need to do too much to this tree. Maybe just remove some real offenders, but there aren't really any, apart from this guy that just sticks up a bit, but I'm really reluctant to cut it off. There's only one in the back here that's growing directly across, and it's not very big, so I'll get rid of that. But apart from that, it's quite good. It's really sitting quite well. So what I'm going to do is see how it fits in this pot and see what we need to do to get it in there. Okay, so just a bit off the edges. Okay, how does that go? That's sitting pretty good. I might just nip this a little bit more. That way it'll have some room to grow into this pot. There we go, how's that looking? Nice, so that sits in this pot quite well. I'm still a bit unsure on the pot itself, but we'll see. So I'm going to get this in the pot, potted up, and then we'll come back and we'll start looking at the top and we'll start sorting out this mess that is the rest of it. So I'll get this potted up and then we'll be back. So again, I'm not going to worry too much about putting the drainage mesh screens in, because I'm going to fill that with a layer of just regular potting mix anyway, and then I'll get the plant settled. And then once it's kind of locked in, I will use Bonsai soil, but I just want to do the base layer as potting mix. That way, if it falls out, I'm not really too concerned. This is the potting mix I use. It doesn't really make a difference. Anything that says premium is pretty good. Just chuck that in. Get a bit of a base layer down, break up any big chunks. There we go. Okay, now let's see how this is sitting and what we want the front to be. Now either way, I know I want the front to be either here or here. So it probably doesn't matter too much how we position this. I guess it is more of a twin trunk this way. That's coming off the back. So I think this will be the front. How's that sitting in the pot? Could sit a little bit higher. So now I'll start using my bonsai soil. And it's the same stuff I've always used. I pretty much get lava rock, that potting mix, akadama, and then just tip it in here, about a third each. That should be good. And I think that's going to be the front about there. And this doesn't matter too much at this stage because it's probably going to get moved eventually anyway after the, well, it won't get moved, but the styling might impact my decisions on what the front is, so. Alright, I'll get this tied in and then we'll start styling. this is what we're working with. I have a door here. I'm attempting to show how the tree looks. This is going to be roughly the front, although we do have some decisions to make. I'll give it a bit of a spin just because we have a lot of weight back here. This is kind of going crazy. And that's pretty much it. So now we have decisions to make. So already knowing, well, thinking that this will be the front, like I don't want this, so that's going. Maybe the front should be more about there or so. Maybe there. Maybe that's a better front. Something around there. So I probably don't need this, although I might just take it to there and we can decide later. Although it just comes straight out, I don't want to get rid of it. This goes up nicely, then it starts to become too thick. Let's just take this off because it's crossing over and we know that we're not going to want that. I think what I do is I try and make this here and this here these kind of branches. So I'll take this back to there. Probably come in from this way. That's gone. That can stay. This, that. I might just take that back to there and then knock these flowers off just because they do steal a lot of energy from fruiting trees. So I'll just take off these flowers and hopefully that will shoot out. Okay. Take this and this off. See if we can get that leaf to, although that leaf looks very sad, we'll see if we can get that to sprout back to life. This, again, coming straight out, I probably don't want it. Like it's coming almost 90 degrees to wood. So I might just get rid of that completely. This is going too far. Like that's, this section here is all the way back here. So I do want a back branch, but I don't necessarily want it that far back. What's the rest of the tree looking like? I think this is the better front out of everything, and I think that's the front about there. So we can keep that as a back branch, that works. And there's actually a little shoot coming off just there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a tiny little shoot coming off here, so what I'm going to do is just take all that. That can go. There's a little flower coming off it as well. I'm just going to get rid of the flower. Nip this, just because it's a flower and I don't need it. And well, I do like that that has a bit of a pad over here. I'm just trying to think how I can get it to kind of ramify back in this way. Is that a... yeah, so there's a dormant bud in here. It's facing up though. I don't really have a better option. We'll just take it back to there. We do have to do a pretty significant prune after I took all those roots off. Whoops. This far too excessive. So, although it just goes straight up, I don't want it. That's gone. See if I can clean up a bit of this. I had concave pruners somewhere, but I've lost them in the ride that is life, I guess. Now I've got a decision. I probably don't want this, just because it's cutting back across the line. So we'll... that's gone. And now we're left with the decision This is growing kind of forwards but then up and creates a nice little front canopy. And there's a section coming off the back of it here with some new shoots. So I'll take it back to there. Just kind of knock these flower heads off, just because they're going to take energy away from the tree. Energy that the tree may not necessarily have. And then this behemoth goes there, back there, and then zags back over there, and then there's a new shoot there. I think what I might have to do is imagine that that's gone. Like if this is gone, alright, everyone say goodbye to the lemon. Good lemon. Oh well. This needs to be cleaned up a bit. I don't know if I can with these, but I'm gonna try. And then probably take this back to there. So all of that effort was in vain anyway. And then this will be not much of a leader, but it will be the new leader. And there you have it. A pretty aggressive prune, but I think ultimately for the better. What's going on over here? Am I really going to want that spitting in and out? I think I kind of have to leave this just so that there's still leaves on this branch, because I don't want to risk this dying. Because I do kind of like it. And then maybe we can just kind of trim this back in time. So I'm going to leave that for now. So I think that's the final product for now. See if I can move it over a bit. So I'll give it a bit of a spin. So we've lost a lot of this section back here, but hopefully this and this will fill out. This is going to be the new leader. This will be a sub leader. Okay, that's that tree done. We will move on to the olive tree now.